Hi everyone, I am here with a true story. I hope you guys are having a good night. So this true story is by Linda Hyman, and it is called Wanting What He Wants. You've never had a date? Why not? I was an 18-year-old college freshman when that infuriating question was first asked of me. I was 19 before I had my first date. No one ever asked me out, I replied. The answer's obvious, I thought. Dating is a two-way street, after all. And as they say, it takes two to tango. The looks of pity on my roommates' faces, however, were only the beginning of their efforts to make me over. They began by plucking my eyebrows and teaching me how to style my hair. It didn't get me a date the next day, but I certainly felt better about myself. Something on my nail. Only God knows, but perhaps their efforts did eventually pay off. A group of my fellow choir members and I began to have lunch together. Usually the group was mostly girls, but it sometimes included one friendly, non-threatening fellow with a sweet tenor voice. At first we were just friends, but then we became campus brother and sister. Finally, one Saturday night, while standing on a chair cleaning my closet, I turned to my best friend with the confession, I love him. I'd never said that before. Startled, I stopped for a few seconds of serious consideration. Then I confirmed the fact. I love him. I immediately had questions, and they would continue for the next 2.5 years. How does he feel about me? What kind of relationship do we really have? Is this what God really wants for me? Is this his best for me, his plan for me? The tension in these questions distracted me from my studies and drove me to play the dating games that had always disgusted me. However, my daily devotional time, a habit begun when I was 11, kept me grounded throughout this time. The Christian university I attended reserved one room on each dormitory floor as a prayer room. These rooms were available 24/7 for anyone who needed a quiet place to pray and meditate. I was there every morning on my knees asking God for guidance for my life. One day during my Bible reading, I was struck by Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. I memorized it in a moment. At first, I thought it meant that God would grant me what I wanted. But what did I really want? Did I really want the boy? Was he really the one? I found myself praying, Lord, I want to want what you want me to want. Gradually, I realized the true meaning of the verse. As I put God first in my life and made him the center of my heart, he would put his desires there. God doesn't grant or fulfill our desires just because we read his word every day. Rather, he gives us those desires to fire our imaginations and motivate us to follow the big plans that he has for each of us. As I learned to pray for God's desires to be mine and for his perfect will to be accomplished, the events of my romance played out. Eventually, in God's timing, I married the sweet tenor, and we began our saga of shared careers, life's disappointments, and God's abundant joys. Through it all, the echoes of Psalm 37:4 has sustained and guided me. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Psalm 37:4. She sounds like a really, really wonderful Christian girl. So proud of her, really am. Her parents should be really proud of that young lady. Good night, guys.